All right, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Bear Track Outfitters podcast. Not sure how long this one's going to be. Just getting ready for spring season here. Finally, after 2 years, the pandemic shut us down, so we're back at it. We can finally have hunters up again and friends up again. So I'm looking forward to that quite a bit. We head up this Friday. We were supposed to head up last Friday, but Mother Nature doesn't always let you get what you want. So we're going to head up this Friday. We have hunters coming in for the next couple weeks after that, and hopefully we can have a good time and get on some bears. A few things I want to talk about today. What makes a good guide first, and then second part, what if you're looking for a guided hunt anywhere, if you've never done it before, or you're looking to go for a new species or a new outfitter that you're not used to, because some guys they go back, like we have many clients of ours that come back year after year after year, and that's phenomenal. You form fantastic relationships and friendships with these people, and that, to me, that's what makes the job so rewarding. But if you're looking for something new outfitter, new species, new country, new location, whatever it is, what are some things that you can ask, you can look for, and so just from an outfitter's perspective, what that looks like and what questions you should ask. So yeah, let's jump into it, and what makes a good hunting guide. Excuse me. The first thing I tell hunters, or guides, when they come to guide for me, is first and foremost, you're in the hospitality industry. Getting a bear is great, and it's what we all strive to do, and it's what we work our tails off to let our hunters get. But first and foremost, you're in the hospitality industry, so you need to approach it with that kind of mindset. I've been guiding 18 years now, and I can assure you, I've had more clients come back the next year, not having been successful but having a great time, as opposed to hunters who killed a giant whitetail, moose, bear, whatever it is, but their time was mediocre. For example, we years ago we had a guy come up. He'd never been bear hunting before, never been on a guided trip before, but he wanted to start getting into bear hunting, and where he's from in the U.S., he couldn't. So he contacted us. Well, he contacted numerous outfitters and decided to come with us. And so he books his hunt. He comes up. He's excited. He gets into camp. There's always that anxiety, right? So he gets up in camp. He's excited. I'm the one guiding him. Him and two other guys that were in camp that year, and my guides had the rest. I think we had 8-10 guys in camp that week. And so he comes up. And normally our hunters arrive Sunday. You hunt Monday to Friday. You leave Saturday. So Monday, put him in the stand, nothing. Tuesday, put him in the stand, nothing. Wednesday, Thursday, nothing. I'm thinking, golly, like I get it's hunting. I get it. Yeah, and he'd come back to camp and his mood was good. His attitude was good. He'd joke around and laugh with me and the other guides and the other hunters in camp, and he seemed to be doing all right, but I know he wanted a bear. And so I'm thinking, man, because he told me before he booked that he's looking for a place that he can go year after year. So I'm thinking, man, this is someone I can form a friendship with, a relationship with, a repeat client, which is always good in this industry. So I really wanted to make sure he had a successful hunt. So Friday rolls around, that has not been the case. Other hunters in camp are killing bears, so he sees that at least, but he hasn't seen a bear yet. Friday comes around, he sees a bear, but it's a boo-boo. It's a small, 200-pound, 220-pound bear, nothing worth shooting. You let that one pass. So I pick him up. So how'd it go? He says, well, I saw a small bear, but wasn't what I wanted to shoot. Okay, fair enough. I'm thinking, man. So we go back, have lunch, supper, go back to bed. Saturday morning, wake up, he's packing up, he's getting ready to leave. He walks up to me and he hands me a deposit for the next year. He says, I had the time of my life, and I'm coming back next year. So I was like, man, okay. I didn't see that coming, but I'll take it. I'll take it. And he's been back every year, and he's killed great bears since then. But he's been back every year, and so that, the next year I asked him. I says, why? I gotta know, like, what made you come back? He says, a couple things. He says, you treated me like family. When I got here, you made me feel welcome. You made all of us feel welcome. You made us feel like we're family, we're friends. You weren't just providing a hunt, you were providing an experience. He said, I had a great time. I felt welcome. I felt comfortable. Secondly, he said, I saw you work your tail off. I saw you bust your butt to put me on bears. And I saw other hunters, every other hunter in camp killed a bear that week. He said, so I know it's there. He said, but at the end of the day, it's hunting. It is what it is. And that's always stuck with me. I mean, I understood that prior to him saying that, but it's nice to hear a hunter say that, because some don't get that. It's that's what it's about. You treat them right, you treat them like family, and you do what you can to put them on bears, and they'll see that, right? They'll see you work your tail off. They'll see you grinding every day. But at the end of the day, this isn't some high fence hunt. This isn't a canned hunt. It's we're in the big woods chasing wild game, fair chase. It is what it is. So yeah, that was my first point of advice to anyone who wants to be a guide or looking into what makes a good guide is recognizing that first and foremost you're in the hospitality industry. You want to get them that bear, that deer, that turkey, that moose, that elk, that whatever it is, but if they're not having a good time, if they're not comfortable, if you're not treating them well, most often it's not going to matter what they shoot. They could shoot a 190-inch whitetail, they could shoot a Boone and Crockett black bear, they could shoot a 350-inch bull elk, but if they're miserable in camp and they're not getting, and you're not getting along with them, and they're just not having a good time, they're not going to come back. So, first and foremost, hospitality industry. Second is demeanor. Demeanor and attitude kind of go hand in hand. Your guide has to trust you. He has to know that you know what you're doing. Now, that doesn't mean you have to have all of the answers. Like I said, I've been guiding bear for 18 years, well, guiding in general for 18 years, and hunting bear for almost 25. And just last fall, something happened where I was like, man, I've never seen that before. And I had to adjust on the fly with hunters in camp, and we managed to get it figured out. But it happens. It happens. Not to pump my own tires, but especially when it comes to bear hunting, I think by this point there's not much I haven't seen or dealt with. But every once in a while, you get thrown for a loop, like I did, and you gotta just humble yourself and realize that you don't have all the answers. But you still need to instill that confidence through your demeanor to your hunter, because they're paying you money. They're paying you their hard-earned money, whether it's a a $1,500 waterfowl hunt, or a $4,000 bear hunt, or a $35,000 sheep hunt, it's still their hard-earned money, and you need to take that seriously as a guide and as an outfitter. And so they need to, when they hand you that check, they need to know that they're in capable hands. That doesn't mean, now here's a little caveat, that doesn't mean that you need to be this bear killer, this deer killer, this elk killer, this moose killer yourself. Some of the best elk guides I know have never killed an elk. So having killed one yourself is not a prerequisite to being a guide. Some people think, well, man, I'd love to guide for whitetail, or I'd love to guide for bear or moose, but I've never killed one. So what? Yeah, obviously it helps, but one of the best guides I have, he's been with me for years now. When I hired him, he never killed a bear. He's killed plenty since, but his first 2 years of guiding, he never killed a bear. But he was a phenomenal guide, and our clients loved him, and he put clients on bears. So when I'm looking to hire a guide, hunting experience it's important. It's definitely a benefit, but to me, it's not the be-all, end-all. And this ties in with the point I just made about being in the hospitality industry. Is when it comes to guiding, I can teach you that. I can teach you how to do that. I can teach you anything you need to know about doing that. I can't teach you to be hospitable. I can't teach you how to interact with clients in a way that's, positive and fun and respectful. So when I'm looking for a guide to hire, I'm looking for someone that I know is gonna show the client a good time, treat them well, treat them with respect, and learn how to, be serious, but at the same time know how to cut up, if you know what I mean. And that's harder than most people think, because every client's different. I've had clients where they come to camp and they are just stone. They're there to kill a bear. They're not there to be a friend, to have a good time. They want to kill a bear and they want to go home. They want that trophy on their wall. Not my ideal client, but you never really know until they show up in camp. And then I've had hunters come up and tell me flat out, look, man, I don't care if I even see a bear this week. We're here to have a good time. Okay, fair enough, right? Some guys are a little more serious. Some guys, they like to cut up in camp. They like to joke around and have a good time and bust your balls, so to speak. So you have to know how to interact and deal with both of those. There's a wide range of clients where one guy you could basically say anything and he's going to laugh and give it right back, where the next guy you got to watch your tongue, because everything you say may or may not be disrespectful. So you have to know your client, right? You have to know how to deal with them, how to interact with them, and you got to interact with them, each of them differently, because each of them deserve respect, and each of them should have a good time and be treated fairly. So some guys love it, joke around, other guys not so much. But thankfully, the guys that are mostly serious are few and far between. I'd say 99% of the guys that come up to at least our camp, they're there to kill a bear, but they're there to have a good time, right? They like to joke around and bust each other's balls every once in a while, and yeah, just have fun. Next, I think would be work ethic. Work ethic is it's important in anything you do in life, but for a guide, it's important because there's times where you can, you got hunters in the stand and you're back at camp and it's hot outside and you'd rather just go grab a beer and sit by a lake. Well, there's stuff that has to get done, right? And if I know anything about outfitting all these years, the old "I'll do it later" turns into "I'll never do it," because something always comes up, and you got to go deal with that, and then you just keep pushing back, and whatever you wanted to originally get done never gets done. So, you're up at camp, you're having a good time, and your job is most people's vacation. So that kind of gets in your head a little bit that you can take it easy. You can't. You're there to provide a service, and so yeah, just remind yourself of that there's stuff that needs to get done, and once it's done, if you want to sit by the lake and enjoy the view, go ahead. But as long as your stuff is done, and it's it can be harder than than it seems sometimes, especially when you're in week 4, 5, 6, and you're doing 18, 20-hour days. You just want to relax, but you can't, because for them, they're fresh. This is their first week, but for you, this is week 5, and you're exhausted. You got to keep going. You got to treat every week like it's week 1. Which brings me to my next point. You got to love it. You got to love it. I've had a few people contact me where they want to be a guide in the worst way. It's their dream to have a job in the hunting industry, and they want to be a guide, and they just have all these grand illusions of what it is, and it is fun, but at the end of the day, it's different than most people think. And so I meet with them. I take them out for a beer and wings, or for a coffee, or whatever, and we sit down and we chat, and I get a feel for them. Like I said, I'm looking for that demeanor, that attitude. Is this someone I can trust with a client? And I've hired guys that fit my criteria, and after the first week, they'll come up, and I've had it before where I can't do it. This is not what I thought it was going to be. Like the old saying goes, everyone wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. So they're not used to, you haven't eaten in 12 hours, you haven't slept in 16, and now it's 1:30 in the morning, and you're hungry, and you're tired, and it's raining, and you're looking for a bear that may or may not be wounded out in the back 40 somewhere. It takes a toll on you, for sure. I think the last thing that I want to address here is be real with the client. This is a big one. There's a term in the industry called guide talk. And it's, what kind of bears you got? Oh, they're all 400 pounds. Oh yeah, they're all 400. Well, they're not. Do we have 4 or 5 550 pound bears? Yeah. Are they all like that? No. So a surefire way to not get a repeat client is to overpromise and underdeliver. And I would way rather do the opposite. I would rather, hey, do we have those bears? Yeah. Like if I have a client, he phones me and says, hey, I want a 400 pound bear. That's what I'm coming for. I says, okay. Yeah, we have 400 pound bears. We have a lot of them. Are you going to see one in the week? Maybe, maybe not. Right? Like a big whitetail. They don't get big by being stupid. So I'll tell them straight up. We have baits that have 400 and 450 pound bears on them. If you're willing to sit and not see many bears, but you want the hope of seeing that bear, that's what it's going to be. Now, if you want to see a lot of bears, I can put you on a different bait where you'll see a lot of bears. 2, 3, 250 pounds, 350 pounds, yeah. Which are good bears. But if you want that monster, it's going to take patience, and you have to know coming in that there's a high probability you may eat this tag. We've had hunters come in and shoot 400 or 500 pound bears half an hour into the first day. We've had guys come waiting for those big bears and go home empty-handed. Like I said, it's hunting. It happens. We have those bears, but It takes patience. It takes time. On top of being real with the client. So every Sunday after we have hunters arrive at camp, we have a big turkey dinner. We fill their tags, we give them their licenses, and then I give an orientation, because there's always some people in camp that are first time on a guided hunt, first time bear hunt. So it's just kind of, there's always that anxiety, right, when people show up. So just kind of put them at ease, let them know this is kind of the way things are going to go. This is what we expect. This is, what the days look like, yada yada. And one of the main things I tell them, and I save it till the end because I hope it sticks in their head, is that guided doesn't mean guaranteed. And this goes for any credible outfitter, not just me. Some people seem to think that the second they hand you a check, that they're going to come home with the trophy of their dreams. It's not the case. If that's what you want, go high fence. But don't get me started on that. Guided doesn't mean guaranteed. We will work our tail off to ensure that we do everything we can to make your hunt successful. But it's hunting. It is what it is. I think that about covers it for me. So now I just want to talk about what if you're looking for a guided hunt, what are some of the things you can ask, you can inquire about to a potential outfitter that you're looking to hunt with, be it for whatever. One thing I think, and then don't be afraid to ask questions. If you ask questions and the outfitter seems annoyed or irritated, that's not a good sign. I have some hunters that they send me their deposit, I send them the dates they want to come, and I don't hear from them until they come to camp. I have other clients that 3-4 times a week I'm getting an email or a phone call. Hey, what about this? Or what do we this? And that's fine. I don't mind it at all. I really don't. Like I said, we're in the hospitality industry, we're in the service industry. I'm there to answer all the questions you have, as many or as little as you have, because they're not trying to be irritating, they're not trying to be annoying, they're not trying to bug you. They're anxious, they're excited, so if I can talk to them and just maybe put their mind at ease a little bit, or answer a question that's been on their mind, I'm okay with that. I don't get irritated. The only time I ever get irritated at a client is if he tries to tell me where he should be hunting, or what I should be doing. It's maybe it's a pride thing, maybe not. I hope not. Like I said, I've been guiding for 18 years, hunting bears for 25. This is your first bear hunt. Sorry, but I'm not. I'll take what you say with a grain of salt. I'll put it that way. So ask your outfitter all the questions you want, and if he's a good outfitter, he'll answer them, and he won't mind doing so. Another thing is they tell you, you'll often see outfitters say 100% success rate or 95% success rate. Okay, what do you mean by that? Is because I know, maybe trade secret, maybe not. Like I said, I've been in this game for a minute now. I know that a lot of outfitters say 100% success rate. But what they mean is, if you see a bear or you see a deer, that's successful, because you then now had the opportunity to shoot that animal if you wanted to. So as far as they're concerned, it's a success. So when you see that, or even if you don't, just ask your outfitter, what is your success rate versus your kill rate? I'll tell you straight up with Bear Track, We have a 100% success rate. We've not, to this day, have a hunter come up to camp and not see bears. We have about a 90 to 95% kill rate. So you need to distinguish between the two, because it's kind of a little bit of a shady. they'll. It sounds like, oh man, everybody goes up there and kills animals. Well, I would argue that's not the case. If it's a fair chase outfit, I guarantee you they do not have a 100% kill rate. I guarantee it. So, and nor should they. We don't. Nobody does. If it's a fair chase hunt, 100% success rate it's fantasy. Next, if he guarantees or promises you anything regarding the hunt, I guarantee you'll shoot a deer, or I guarantee you'll shoot a bear. Run. Because that's bullshit. Anyone who knows, not even just a guide or outfitter, anyone who knows anything about hunting knows that there are no guarantees. So, but I hear it all the time. I hear outfitters, like we go to shows and I can hear booths, or if I walk around just to stretch my legs a little bit and talk to friends I've made over the years, I'll walk by a booth and say, oh yeah, I guarantee. I walked by a booth a couple years ago in Iowa. We were at a show. Iowa? Ohio? One of the two. We go to lots. And I walk by and the guy, I guarantee you'll shoot a 190-inch whitetail. I turn and I look at his booth and it says 100% fair chase. Okay. So in my mind, I didn't say anything. It's not my business, whatever. I'm not going to be that guy. But in my head, I'm going, well, one of those two is bullshit. Either you're not fair chase or you can't guarantee he's going to shoot a 190-inch whitetail. Now, again, that goes back to that guide talk, right? So what I generally say is, will you have the opportunity? For me, bears. Would you have the opportunity to shoot a 400 and 450 pound bear? Yep. Will you? Don't know. We'll try. We'll certainly try. But I'm not going to tell you will, because you might not. All I can guarantee is that I will try. That's it. I will try everything in my power to put you on the bear that you want, and I'll do everything in my power to make sure that you have a fantastic, fun, and welcoming experience at our camp. As far as the hunting goes, I can't control what the bears do. Another question I would ask is the average size of an animal taken. If that's what you're going for, if you're like, you know what, I've deer hunted in my, me and my dad's farm for 20 years, and the biggest deer I ever shot was 130 inches, and you want that 170, 180, 190 inch deer, and you figure going to an outfitter is your best way of achieving that, then that's a question you need to ask. Because a lot of guys go, yeah, we got 190 inch, 180 inch, 200 inch whitetail here. Okay, yeah. For example, another one. I was talking to an outfitter at a booth, and we were just chatting. This was down in the States again, and we're at an expo, and we're chatting it up, and a client comes to ask him about his deer hunts. So I got to do business, so I kind of back off, let him, hopefully sell a hunt. And the guy, the potential client asks him, so what quality of deer, what kind of deer you have? And the guy goes, we shoot 180, 190 inch whitetail. And the guy goes, oh man, wow, okay. And he's serious about booking a hunt, but and I know what the outfitter means is, yeah, we've had clients shoot 180, 190 inch deer. Is that the norm? No. So you have to clarify, right? You have to, okay, well, that's why I say ask what the average size animal taken is, whether it be bear, moose, elk, deer, whatever. What is the average? because that'll change dramatically. And because I have hunters ask me, how big of bears do you shoot? And I'm honest. I said, yeah. We've taken some giants. We've taken 600-pound bears out. That's a rarity, but we have. We've taken 500. We've taken 400. I've also had hunters shoot 200-pound bears. Right. I can't control what they pull the trigger on, unfortunately. But I said, yeah, we have big bears. What our average size bear taken is depending on what the hunter shoots. So just got to be honest with them and say we've had everything from 600 pounds to 200 pounds. So yeah, ask the average size of animal taken. A lot of people ask for references, which I understand, but who's going to give you a bad reference, right? Who's going to go, this guy hated us, maybe call him, right? So what I would suggest is obviously do your research when you're looking into an outfitter. Look at their social media if they have website. Don't just email. I would call him first just to kind of chat with him, talk to him, kind of get a feel for the type of person he is, or she maybe, and if you want to ask for references, which I'm torn about again because you're not going to give a reference from someone who hated your camp. So, yeah, I would just ask, if you ask for references of so if you're looking for references, look for see if you can get some from hunters who haven't been successful. Ask for references that they were in camp and they may or may not have booked again, but they weren't successful, and see if you can chat with them and see their take on the outfit and see what worked, what didn't work, what they liked, what they didn't like. If they rebooked while being unsuccessful, why? If they didn't rebook, was it just because they were unsuccessful, or were there other factors? Right. So those are always good questions to ask. Ask if there's any hidden fees. That's another unfortunately sneaky thing that hunters do, or outfitters do, is we'll skin your bear, but it's going to cost you $150. Or there's an export permit that you need if you want to get your animal home, that we can give you, or we can point you the right direction, or stuff like that, right? Or if they trophy care, they call it usually. So just that's a good question to ask, because a lot of times you book the hunt and you're like, that's not a bad price, and then you get blindsided in camp with a bunch of hidden fees, which is, I think, ridiculous. I make it known to people when they book with us that $500 deposit secures your date. The remaining is due 60 days before arrival. Once you show up in camp, the only thing that's not included is gratuities. So whatever you feel like tipping your guide, that's the only other fee you'll have. We take care of everything. So just be sure you clarify that before you book. I'd also ask how many hunters does he run through his camp a year? Is this a guy that does it for the love of hunting and loves what he does, or is this a guy trying to make money? Because you can make a lot of money in this industry. So what guys will do is, they'll run 100, 150 people through their camp a year, or a spring, or even more, and just keep running people through, and they really don't care if you're successful or not. You're paying them. They put you on a hunt. So yeah, I would ask, I would clarify. The last 2 years we haven't been able to have any clients up here because the borders were shut down, and so conservation said, well, all the tags you didn't use you can add on to your years now. And so, for example, if you had whatever the case may be, let's just pick a number. So let's say you had 20 tags. I mean, we have a lot more than that, but I'm just simplicity's sake. Let's say you have 20 tags. So the last 2 years you couldn't use any tags. So now you have 40 extra tags that you didn't use. So you could run 60 this year, or 30 in the next 2 years, whatever you want to do. I get why they're trying to do that. I don't agree. So I told conservation, I said I won't be doing that. I'll run a normal camp. Just because I can run, X number of more hunters through camp doesn't mean I want to do it, right? I'm skeptical as to what that'll do to the bear population, because hunting, it's conservation as well. We all know that. So, if I just decide to be greedy and take, so many more hunters and run, I mean, that's, I'm concerned with, as many bears as we have at our lodge, up at our allocation there, we have so many, but still, I don't want to run more than I have to just because I can. I want to think of the bear populations. I want to think of the bear herd. I want to think of the experience for the hunters. I want to think of the hunter success, right? Not just my pocketbook. So yeah, ask him how many hunters he runs through camp, how many he has in total, how many he has per week, and that'll kind of give you an idea of what the operation is, and it'll depend, right, from species to species. Fishermen or upland game or even waterfowl hunters, you can tend to run a few more through camp than you would, say, a big game operation. What's the hunter to guide ratio? Are you on your own? Is it semi-guided? Is it 1 to 1? Is it 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4? What is it, right? It's not a crucial question, but it's an important one, just so you know. And what do the days look like? What do what should I expect? Am I going to be sitting around camp, sitting on my hands for most of the day, and then you take me out to stand, or excuse me, is there other things we can do? Is there fishing is available? Is there skeet shooting? Is there something, or what? Right. So the way we run it, breakfast in the morning, then your guides, we go out and we check the baits that we kind of we're thinking of putting hunters on that evening, and we encourage the hunter to come give us a hand. Not that we need help, it's just come take a look. Not only does it, especially in the first few days of the week, not only does it suppress some of the anxiety that there is with them, but it's gives them something to do. They can get out in the bush. They don't have to sit around camp. I mean, yeah, we have Wi-Fi and satellite TV and stuff, but you're not there for that. You're there to be out in the bush. So come with your guide, or we're out on the lake. You want to go fishing? Jump in one of our boats, go putt ski around the lake a little bit, and see if you can catch some northerns or some walleye. And we encourage that. And then come back, look at the cards, have lunch, and then you're off to the stand. So just ask your outfitter, what do the days look like? What kind of hunting is it? Are we going to be walking? Are we going to be hiking? Or is it tree stand? Or spot and stalk? Steel hunting? What is it? So just a few questions. Those are typically the most common ones I get. So if there's something you think I missed, or a question you have that I didn't address, that you'd like to know if you're thinking of going on a guided hunt, leave a comment. Let me know. I'll see what I can do to address it. But yeah, until next time, let's stay in the bush.